to this Skywatch weather special, it only takes one. Florence and Michael caused nearly $50 billion in damage, according to the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration. Lessons learned from these storms can help keep your family safer. Florence reminded us that hurricanes are about much more than just the winds. Our sister station in New Bern, North Carolina was many miles from the eye's landfall, but our team lost their station when water stormed ashore.
When this storm was coming in, it just looked different. Different angle, different intensity.
This storm is a monster.
This thing was going to make a run towards our coast as a Cat 4 or maybe even a weak Cat 5.
It's big.
It's going to cover pretty much all North Carolina.
And it's vicious.
This had the potential of being a catastrophic storm.
It is an extremely dangerous,
this is serious,
life-threatening,
Scared, yeah.
historic hurricane.
It was a perfect storm.
Our station is about 500 yards from the Neuse River. We started continuous coverage about 4:30 that morning.
Your emergency officials are asking you to evacuate.
Began to watch the storm coming in. We had crews out.
I called Mike McCormick up. He said, go to Morehead City. When I got down there, I saw sailboats that kind of broke free. I remember jumping out, shooting this aluminum siding, just blowing down the street.
And I went out to meet with one of the field crews that were out, and it seemed to be coming up a little bit quicker than what we were expecting.
Ariel, show us what you're seeing right now.
It's been non-stop. I'm gonna get the mic out of the way. Just a ton of rain right here.
It's an eerie feeling when you're driving on the road and you're the only person out there listening to these tornado warnings.
Hazard, tornado. Source, radar indicated rotation. Impact, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter.
Early in the evening, as we were watching the different points where we thought water could come in, water started coming over our escape route, and so we made the decision to go on and evacuate the station.
We have the situation that has developed here at the station, and that is that the water getting close to the building, that the building has been evacuated.
We were able to switch our coverage to our Myrtle Beach station so we could continue tracking the storm and providing information for our viewers.
As we told you earlier, we had to evacuate our building, and now we're being told that our sister station in Myrtle Beach is going to continue our coverage so that we can continue the evacuation of this building because of the rising water. So we're going to take you now to the coverage from our sister station in Myrtle Beach.
It was just a deflating feeling.
It was those persistent northeast winds that continued to pile up water in so many places.
In fact, Florence was like a bulldozer, but this time instead of pushing dirt, she was pushing water.
We've been on the air for our sister station in New Bern, WCTI, because the crews were forced to evacuate their own building overnight.
We are going to still continue to cover this storm. Again, this is going to go down as a historic storm for us here in eastern North Carolina.
Hey guys, now that it's morning, we're starting to see a little more of the flooding and the damage of what's going on.
In downtown, there's like this little circle. I look up, and it looks like there's like a tugboat there. So I jump out immediately, I start putting the dish up.
The deck at Persimmon's restaurant usually busy with activity, but today not the kind of activity you'd want to see.
Before the storm, we positioned a satellite truck at our transmitter. We were feeding that up to satellite and down, and we were able to get an engineer out to the transmitter who turned the truck on, and boom, all of a sudden we were on the air.
And someone came up to me and said, hey, that's Lieutenant Governor Forrest.
I told him what had happened to the station and that we needed to get some information out to people.
What's the biggest thing you want people to know?
I think, that, again, it's still not over. I know it's hard for people to believe that.
So this is what one of the roads look like as I'm driving down the river walk. You can still see how the water's coming through over the seawall. Again, a lot of these people have basements.
Bill next door here, he has water in his house. He said that since the house has been built, there's never been water in that house. So, and that was, he talked about 1700s.
You can come in.
Okay.
So this is the formal sitting area. And as you can see, the water came up above the couch. This was actually sitting adjacent to this corner here.
Mayor Dana Outlaw, and thank you so much for coming out. I know you're busy right now. What's the first thing you want the folks at home to know?
The safety of our citizens. This is still an event. It's not over.
We're still stuck in these heavy bands, and what we're concerned about here is areas like Newport, like Burgal, Rose Hill, Magnolia.
And we just slowly kept finding a way to keep going. It just kept going and going and going until we had done 6 hours of coverage that day. We're all just drenched through and through, and we were excited to know the television station was back on the air. And what a gut punch when you walked in the station and you saw the water, you saw the mud on the ground. And while we'd only taken maybe 6 inches of water, the destruction was unbelievable. The smell when you walked in, it was so pungent. We had to keep the news going. We sent Carl Puglisi out, go scout a location for us to do news that night.
And for some reason I said, oh, let me go down this street and just see how bad it is.
And he found an area, it's only about 10 blocks from the television station.
Beach Street is a block away from the Neuse River.
It just looked like a wall of water had come through. It came under these houses on the river that were on stilts, and the water just rushed under, and there was this neighborhood of about 8 or 10 houses, and they were just all flattened. I mean, there was concrete steps about 3 up, and it was one of the highest points in the neighborhood.
Want to walk you through exactly where we are right now. We've been off the air since Thursday, but bringing you live broadcasts again.
So we did the newscast for 6. Now what are we going to do for 11? It was pitch black on Beach Street. We strategically parked every vehicle to light up the street.
It was kind of surreal that you're surrounded by people's stuff everywhere that you could look.
This is our commitment to you to get you the very latest information you need and your loved ones need.
Also, remember, the governor will be here tomorrow, and there are reports that the president will be too.
Good night.